Good morning. Good morning, everyone. You're welcome to our sustainability series for today. We are waiting for more participants to come online. So we just maybe give another five to 10 minutes for more participants to join online, and then we can commence the webinar. It promises to be an exciting, informative, and educative webinar today. Also very interactive. There'll be opportunities for you to ask your questions, also make contributions, because today's topic is actually an exciting topic for everyone, right? So we need to just wait for a few more persons, and then we'll commence the webinar. Thank you so much for all our early birds. Thank you for joining on time. Just a few more minutes would commence the webinar. Thank you. Thank you once again. Once again, good morning to all our distinguished guests. Good morning to all our attendees and also our most distinguished panelists here today. Today, like I said earlier, is going to be a very, very interesting webinar, which would be very conversational. There will be opportunities for us all to, discuss on today's topic, which is harnessing digital learning and solar technologies for smarter classrooms. Before I delve into the topic for today, before I delve into the webinar for today, I would like to introduce myself. My name is Princess Akachukwu, and I'll be your moderator for today's webinar. Welcome to this edition of the Energy Sustainability Webinar, where we will delve into the pressing energy challenges faced by educational institutions in Nigeria. And we're going to explore practical and reliable ways to power conducive classrooms and digital learning programs. Once again, I am Princess Akachukwu, your host for today's session. As Nigeria's education landscape rapidly depends and embraces digital transformation, the need for stable power supplies in schools has never been more crucial. An Econster report in 2022 highlighted that access to electricity can boost schools' enrollment by up to 55% and reduce the grade for age gap by 1.5 years, underscoring the transformative impact of reliable energy on education. Today's webinar features an industry expert with extensive experience in the energy and education industries. He will explore how schools can integrate solar technologies and digital learning to enhance academic performances. We will discuss real-life practical approaches and pathways for schools to evaluate and adopt suitable solar solutions that provide consistent electricity while reducing operational costs. We would also aim to equip school owners, I believe they are here today, administrators, and stakeholders with actionable insights and viable pathways to leverage accessible solar technologies to meet energy demands for schools and drive robust digital learning. My distinguished guest for this webinar is no other than Mr. Ismail Eleburike, who is duly represented by Mr. Ismail is the CEO of School Try Limited, but today he's highly represented by the manager of partnership and strategy for School Try Limited, Mr. Feishayo Ajayi. We'll just quickly take the profile of Mr. Ismail. He is a leading voice in school management and digital educational technologies. Ismail Eleburike is the founder of School Try, a tech startup on the mission to power education with unified technology to create a seamless educational ecosystem that improves learning, simplifies digital access, and delivers valuable insights to educators and administrators. Mr. Eleburike boasts more than 15 years of delivering unparalleled excellence in ICT solutions and a successful track record in business operation and development, leadership and team building, diplomatic problem resolution, and industry networking initiative. He has a professional, technical, and business background in project management, and equally, assurance for leading IT and telecoms providers worldwide, such as Facebook, Ericsson, etc., as well as analysis technical sales and marketing, strategic forecasting and process implementation, and multiple solution delivery. Wow. Right now, we're going to delve into our conversation for today, and I hope everyone is ready. I hope all our guests are ready to get value. You're ready to, engage. You're ready to throw in your questions, also throw in your contributions. We'd like to hear your thoughts. We'd like to hear your questions, right? So, like I said, it's going to be a very, very interactive session. Thank you so much. And I look forward to a very exciting session with you today. Right, so we'll delve into our first question for today. Right away to you, Feisha Ajayi. So the first question for today is evaluating the energy demands and challenges for schools. Tell us, from your experience managing educational projects for schools, what are the critical impacts of unreliable electricity on school administration and quality of learning? Over to you, Mr. Feisha. Let's hear from you. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Princess. So, as said, I'm Feisha Ajayi, and I manage partnerships and services, which include strategy for SchoolTry. And, SchoolTry is more than a digital platform. It's an ecosystem designed to, number one, enhance the learning experience for students and pupils, and also to simplify the workload of teachers, educators. As we know, this is very, very key to the educational ecosystem. So therefore, also, and lastly, to deliver strategic values to stakeholders and administrators, because this is key to us. So if you look at it critically, electricity is extremely important in the quality of learning. And so because of that, in our case, if electricity, especially talking about alternate energy or green electricity, if there's no electricity, it's going to impede nothing less than over 200 students, not to talk about pupils, not to talk about administrators and educators on our platform in Nigeria alone, not to talk about Kenya. So that's why we have entered into these strategic partnerships with Energy, because we believe as a leading supplier of green energy, green electricity, alternate electricity, that they take care of installations and maintenance of more reliable energy. And because of this, being able, after we've at least for 10 years now, even from the pandemic, you could see the disruption in digital learning, basically for some factors, crucial among them, which includes accessibility to green energy or reliable energy, let me put it that way. So for that case, modern classroom rely heavily on the power holding for their teaching, assessments, and other stuff. So if outages happen, so you believe with me that there's going to be disruptions. So it will disrupt e-learning activities in the school. Virtual learning will not be able to take place. You can imagine learners are writing CBT examination, computer-based exam test or examination, and there is power outage. So that's going to affect a lot of people on the platform. And so for this reason, that's why we engage in partnership with Energy in order to bridge this gap, because the administrative inefficiencies will be taken away, also reducing. We are going to work on the efficiency, the process of delivering content to learners will be intensified. Take, for example, another crucial example, which I will give in wrapping up with this. You see, in the morning, educators will, on the palms of their hands, take attendance in the morning, and immediately after the close of work at schools, they are going to also take attendance from the palms of their hands, which is digitized to our platform. So in the morning, as they are doing this on site in schools, immediately after that, parents on the flip side receive notifications. So you can now imagine that someone doing that in the morning, the access or to power is cut off. So that means parents will not be able to receive in real time the notifications that their wards are at school. And these are reasons why it is very crucial to have a reliable electricity. Thank you so much. So I don't know if I have been able to take that question. So thank you so much.
Yeah, very well. Thank you. Thank you. You just did justice to the question. Really, from what you said, modern learning depend heavily on power, on electricity. We know
Yes.
that from the pandemic, right? A lot
Yes.
of industries, especially the educational industry, the learning platforms went digitally, right? And from
Yes.
that time till now, everyone
Yes.
has gone digitally, right?
Yes.
Without a reliable source of energy,
Yes.
right? A lot of educational platforms will fail because think of people who do their master's program online, learn their MBA, even down to PhD. A lot of people don't get to travel abroad these days. From the comfort of your office, from the comfort of your home, you can earn a certification, you can earn an MBA, you can earn a PhD, right? But without reliable source of energy, these things will be very, very difficult, right? And we know that a lot of, let's say, 70 to 80%, especially in Nigeria and also worldwide, right? Schools depend on traditional energy sources such as diesel, electricity, grid, and all that. And these traditional energy sources pose a lot of challenges
Yes.
on digital learning, right?
Yes.
Number
Yes.
one, high cost of, energy, right? Because let's take Nigeria, for example. We know that the increased rate of diesel fuel right now is impacting on every industry, also especially the educational sector, right? High cost of
Yes.
tariff, right? And then this would impose on operational expenditures in schools, in institutions, which would in turn impact the cost of education. That's the
Exactly.
truth. Also,
Yes.
environmental impacts. This
Yes.
traditional source of energy, right, pose
Yes.
serious environmental impact to schools, right?
Yes.
Talk about climate change, air pollution, greenhouse gas emission, noise pollution, which has a way of affecting the productivity of the students and even pose health issues. Let's take, for example, there are students who have, high attention span. There are students who have low attention span. That's the truth, right?
Exactly.
Now, for those students that have low attention span, they need every form of serenity to concentrate, right? If
Yes.
you're in an
Yes.
environment where the generator is always running, right, in the school environment, noise pollution, some students would not be able to focus on what they are being taught, would not be able to study, right, both in schools, both in any of their learning platforms, right? So this also creates a lot of negative impacts. Lastly, I
Exactly.
will talk about security concerns, right?
Yes.
Because fuel storage, storage of fuel can lead to, it depends on how it's well stored, can lead to hazard, can lead to fire outbreak in educational institutions, also pose issues with maintenance and safety, right? So it is very, very imperative, very, very important for institutions, educational institutions to embrace reliable source of energy, right, in order to enhance digital learning, right?
Yes.
Also, lastly, this traditional source of, energy
Energy.
can also pose a long-term consequences which in
Yes.
turn affect academic performance in schools. Imagine frequent power outages, right? This hinders student learning, like you rightly mentioned. It hinders student learning, it also affects, academic achievements in schools.
Yes.
It also creates digital divide. Inadequate power infrastructure hinders technology integration, like what school try is doing. It's all about technology. It's all about digital, creating a digital platform, right, for schools, for institutions, right? So if a school or a student does not have, adequate power supply, you won't be able to, access these platforms that makes life easy for students, for institutions. So thank you very much for doing justice to that topic, right? For doing justice to that. And the second question I'm going to ask, right? Addressing the impact of power reliability on academic performances. As Nigerian schools become increasingly open to digital learning, we see both from primary school, nursery school, universities, higher institution, like you rightly mentioned, most Nigerian schools, let's say 90% of, Nigerian schools, apart from even the schools in rural communities, people are taking technology now to rural communities, right? And they are embracing technological learning. They are embracing, digital learning. So tell me, what roles does insufficient power supply play in the adoption and in the growth of school e-learning programs, given that School Try is an expert in, e-learning platforms for school. So tell us.
Thank you so much. So in this case, I'll be making a case study here, so as an example. So basically, to give more overview before I go ahead, School Try, as I have said earlier, it's more than just a digital platform, and it's an ecosystem that design and enhance learning experience. So for students, end of the day, are able to give value back to the state. And when you look at it critically, let me use this example. Like, for example, now we have part of our audience, the users, so on our platforms. Take, for example, 45 command schools in Nigeria. So we have all of them on our platform. So, and it is very, very crucial to note something here. So we have basically two divides there. So we have parents that have access to good smartphones. So, and we have parents that do not. Those ones that do not, it's not basically because they cannot afford it, but in places where they don't have access to uninterrupted electricity, or let's say alternate energy. So because of that, we have to, because of the flexibility of our platform, then we have to, before we sign, go into partnership with energy. So we have to devise a means to meet those needs. So at least from a population of getting to around 60,000 students, we are talking about close to 55,000 parents now. So we have like 44% of them that do not have access to smartphones. So it is very difficult to check results. So at the end of the time, so we have to look for a way to partner with an SMS company that will direct SMS to those small phones. So in order for them to go to cafe in town or somewhere in order to check results. So you cannot imagine school where they have access to powered by energy, then you will know, since that is in the school, so it will be easier to just walk straight to the computer-based learning facility and get your results in 1 or 2 clicks. So these are ways to which we want to look at this partnership and help bridge the gap in the role that power play in the adoption of growth in school e-learning programs. Secondly, bringing parents, teachers, and students into the platform. So it's possible. We have encountered challenges in those areas where we have to, in fact, go around and get generator facilities to come to the school system in order to make sure that we carry through the process of onboarding learners on our platform and get them receive their notifications, as well as sign the account process to get everything sorted out. So imagine there is an alternate energy in place already for that school. We were about signing a particular school, and then they said, this is very, very impressive, but who will be willing to go further with you if you can bring in an alternate energy, which is not maybe diesel or generator or any stuff like that. And so with that, we look at it, I think we need to look for someone who can handle this. And that's what brought about this partnership, because it's going to take away the disruption in digital tools and processes. So also power outages will be out of it. There will not be fear to go ahead to any place. Name it, 45 command schools I'm talking about now. We are talking about not in one bit, in very, very far. You have in Djibouti, you have across the board. So, you know, if this gets across to them, it will ease the stress they go through in performing their daily activities. Take, for examples, on our platform, we have the schools of the national president of NABS. So on our platform. And so because of this, on the platform, every day, teachers do learning, e-learning on it. So virtual classroom, the CBT computer-based test, and also because they have access to renewable energy, because they have access to alternate energy, it's possible for teachers to do their lesson notes. So the high cost of backup taken care of, which in the long run, if you look at it, it saves you a lot of costs. A school that is saying every month they pay over 100,000 naira to not to talk about diesel. So, and this is what we have been able to take care of in this partnership. Talking about delayed in EdTech adoption, that's also a very crucial issue, because the power supply is not reliable. And we have a very, very growing population. In fact, a huge population. And we need to meet them. A majority of them are students and pupils. So this is what necessitates for this kind of partnership, so that teachers, educators will have a more seamless process in the process of delivering value in the educational ecosystem to all the stakeholders. And so at the end of the day, even beyond the four walls of the classroom, it will be possible. So and that's what we are looking at in this, to make sure that we harness. Thank you so much.
Wow. Thank you so much, Feishayo. That was a very, very brilliant answer from you. Brilliant point of view, really, and such an interesting work that School Try is bringing to the educational ecosystem. I must commend School Try for the initiative, really, on breaking into the digital world and making educational platforms accessible, easy to use, right, to learners, also to the teachers, right? Well done. Thank you so much for that robust point of view. I will just add a few things here, really. Energy, reliable energy really cannot be overemphasized in access, in having very good learning platforms, right? Alternative sort of energy is quite very, very, very important, right? Because really, depending on grid, which is not stable, as we all know, right? It's really, it's not just the way to go, and a lot of people complain, oh, okay, going to solar might be quite expensive and all of that. No, there are factors to consider, right? There are things to put in place in order to adopt solar system and not see that high rate, that high cost of owning an alternative source of energy. Really, looking at digital classrooms, that's also that your school, your platform rather provides for schools, right? When there are reliable power, when there's reliable source of energy, there's uninterrupted use of this educational technology that School Try is providing, right? A lot of schools use smart boards for learning. A lot of schools have gone digitally using computers. It will be very difficult to see a school that uses a chalkboard in this digital age, right? So I don't know if there's any school like that, maybe in the villages, right? But looking at the 90% of schools do not use chalkboards anymore. A lot of schools use smart boards, computers, tablets to learn, right? So this enhances the learning platforms for students, right? Also, reliable energy sources enhances lighting and comfort for the students, right? In order to learn in a very, very comfortable, environment, conducive environment, right? The lightings, you can't learn in a dark classroom. It impacts on the productivity or the concentration span of students, right? So all the lightings has to be there. You have to be comfortable. The ACs are working, the fans, this helps gives, good temperature and also helps the students concentrate. Like I mentioned earlier, safety and security, power outages can compromise school safety systems, such as alarms and surveillances. A lot of schools, like I know, have surveillances all around, for security reasons and all. So if there are no, alternatives of energy and power outages, these technologies would not work, right? So yeah, this cannot be overemphasized on.
Yes.
Thank you so much for doing justice to that topic.
Okay.
Right, we delve into the next topic, right? Addressing the impact of power reliability on academic performance, right, in schools. Right. Oh, sorry, we've taken this. Yeah, okay, so reviewing the viability and ownership costs of available power options. You mentioned earlier of how people have this mindset of, how, going solar, going solar can be expensive, right? I, for one, I know of a higher institution. This is a first-hand information that spends 100 million on power, both grid and diesel, monthly. This is monthly, not yearly, in our present day Nigeria. So I don't know what else is as expensive as that, right? So back to the question, reviewing the viability and ownership cost of available power options, with the increasing need for digital transformation in education, what collaborative efforts are ongoing in the industry to ease schools' access to reliable and consistent energy that is required for modern learning today? Please, can you let us know? Thank you.
Yes, thank you so much. So as said, one of the very critical area of paramount interest to us is not only just private to private partnerships, but public to private partnership as well. So very shortly, we signed an MOU to their all tertiary schools in Oyo State. So, and when you look at our platforms, as I've said, it helps administrators not only to run their institutions more smoothly, but also gives them data they need to make informed decisions, and that's critical to them. And strongly, that's critical to your state government. So this means they can track progress of what's going on in each of their schools. So imagine during the process of doing that, for some particular set of data insights in a particular school, take for example, Polytechnic of Ibadan, and why doing that? Maybe why students are going on doing their course registrations and also clearance and among other stuffs that they do in school. And in the course of doing that, power outage. And there is need for the administrators to monitor the payments, the clearance and all that. So if the outages, if it is impossible to do those things in real time, then you will agree with me that at the end of the day, the process of making informed decision will be quite very slow. So it will be delayed. And so because of the adoption of alternative energy like this, so You won't have to wait the following day saying, okay, or the holding company will not have to hold you back, so to say, before you take your decisions, because everything is running smoothly. If the holding company takes the power, then you know what takes off immediately to help you through the process so that there is no breach in data security. In the process of doing that, at the end of the day, better result in the classroom, students concentrate better. And also, if you look at it in the process of delivering values to stakeholders, solar power initiatives has been able to focus on installing panels to schools, among other things, especially in rural regions now. So this is critical to the process of doing that. Take, for example, in Oyo State, reaching places like Igora. So I was having calls with one of our support who was in Igora, who was in Irua, during the process of onboarding and listening to the challenges they are facing. So we begin to have a virtual call with them and sensitize them about the need to go alternative energy. So they begin to see the cruciality in taking into attention needs to do that so that they can run a remote school effectively. So, and you see, tech companies are collaborating seriously in order to make sure that they bring energy providers on scene. And that's why you find this partnership very, very important at such a time as this, because doing that is going to bring in efficient energy use. So it's going to help also in financing strategic projects for institutions and projects. A lot of money you are spending on diesel, you are spending on high-rated energy capacities. You know, when you have solar installations, alternative energy installations, you won't worry about those things again because you have fixed that. And so it makes the process of, it helps you focus on building your finance models instead of wasting time running to and fro, and a lot of things are it's taking away the time for you to concentrate on efficiency. So that's also very important. Also, to buttress further, as I would like to say, if you look at what we do in terms of brand promise, so we strive to make digital learning accessible, one, and secondly, we remove technical barriers. So because we remove technical barriers, we don't get to a place and they say the glitch is electricity and we turn back. No, we look for what do we need to do now, and that facilitates the process of bringing energy into board, because we know a lot of loopholes in the educational system, both private and public in Nigeria, that needs to be fixed. And honestly, you cannot fix these issues without green electricity. So, and that's why we need diverse needs of users to begin to see points in what the juicy offer we are bringing to their tables. For students, we are focused on improving how students engage their lessons, so in a more effective and seamless way. Remember, I said our platform is just more than a digital platform, it's an ecosystem. And in an ecosystem, you don't just have learners alone, you have parents to check what the learners are doing, you have teachers to oversee what they are doing. And if the teachers cannot in time take care of their duties, then learning is disrupted, students cannot focus during the course of learning. And at the end of the day, you begin to see that the ease of taking time to transition to better energy become a necessity. So, and that's why we do that in order to make sure that while we are signing partnership, we enhance classroom outcomes, which is very, very important to us, because at the end of the day, the report cards, which the student take home, is not just the evidence of learning, but most importantly, what the students and pupils have gained in the classroom. And they cannot gain anything in the classroom until you have been able to prepare and offer a conducive environment for learning. And as you have said, you talk about making sure that the classroom is well lit. You talk about having air conditioning system in the classroom. If you rely heavily on just one source of energy, then you have issues while others are moving ahead. And that's part of what makes a smart school. Talking about a smart school is not just a school where they have the smart boards, they have digital devices and all that. A smart school is a school that has an alternative energy backup, so that when the normal electricity fails, you switch to it
Correct.
immediately, and learning is not impaired in any way. Thank you so much. So I think that goes a long way
Yeah.
in the process of looking at the transition.
Wow,
Thank you. Yeah.
Interesting to
Yeah.
see how far your organization, right, is going in this in your initiative, right? Going even down to the rural communities, not just urban areas. You're going into the rural communities to see how, you can, drive digital learning platforms, make life easy for students, teachers, and also parents, right? As you have rightfully mentioned, and from what you said, I can see that School Try is collaborating with a lot of stakeholders like the government, right? You're collaborating with government, collaborating with tech companies. This is quite laudable, right? Also collaborating with an energy company, right? To deliver value, to students, to teachers, to parents also. Well done. Well
Yes,
done.
thank you so much. Yes,
Well
thank you so much.
done. Right. Just to add a few points to the very laudable points that you have just stated, right? From our own point of view as an energy company, there are various things to put into consideration, right, in order to overcome barriers to accessing solar energy, right? Like I rightfully said initially, a lot of people think of the high cost of acquisition, of solar energy and all of that, which is a myth, right? But if you look at being energy efficient, right, this also helps to curb the so-called high cost of owning solar energy system. Now, for us as an energy company, right, we do not joke with facility energy audits, right? This helps our clients to understand their actual energy needs. A lot of people out there, okay, now they know that they need an alternative source of energy, right? They go online to research. Oh, okay, I need solar panels, I need inverter, I need batteries and all of that, but they are not well informed of the size of the size of the components they need to actually meet their energy needs, right? So for us as a company, what we do, right, we don't just sell systems, we don't just install systems, right? We help the customer understand their needs by conducting energy audits, right? Yeah, so this energy audit help users identify energy saving opportunities, right? Right. It also helps you develop a comprehensive energy plan, right, on your needs, right? So, and this also helps analyze energy usage patterns and infrastructure, right? Imagine schools, especially higher institutions, right, with a lot of administrative block, right? A lot of students on campus, right? From morning till, let's say, 4 p.m. That is the peak operational hours of schools, right? And then for the students that are in the hostel, that live in the hostel, right? Of course, they need adequate energy in order to be comfortable. There are students, when I was in the university, we go to class to read overnight, right? We call it till daybreak. So without access of energy, then would use our rechargeable lamps, to just ensure that we're able to, study, But when we have adequate sizing, when we know through this energy audit, we're able to know the energy need of the client, like I said earlier. We're able to know all the size of appliances that a school you might think is robust. No, when we go to the facility and we install a data logger, this reads the data, right, of what a particular university of what a particular school is consuming, right? Now, this would now make an informed decision of the size of inverter, right, that we're going to propose to the customer, the size of storage. Now, if your panel is charging given the inverter the energy during the day directly from the sun, and it's powering the classrooms during the learning hours, powering the administrative block, the VC's office, and all of that. What happens at night when the operational hours are over? Now the student needs to, be comfortable, need to sleep in a conducive hostel. What happens at night? You would need a good storage capacity in order to, still provide that energy to them, right? Yeah. To be, comfortable at their hostels, to also read for students that read overnight, right? So from this energy audit, we'll get to know, okay, what do you consume at night? What do you consume at the daytime? Now, at night, you would need sufficient backup storage, that's sufficient battery, in order to, use the energy stored in the battery throughout the night. Till the next morning when the sun comes up again, and the panels, you start drawing energy directly from the panel to the inverter, to the appliances. So like I said earlier, if for people who wants to adopt alternative source of energy, right, please do not skip the process of energy audits. This will help you save a lot of costs. This would help you understand your energy need. You might not understand what you need. This would also help you be energy efficient, right? And the quotes you are getting online or from a vendor who is not giving you a robust, energy audit would just cost you a whole lot of money that you necessarily might not even need to spend, right? Also, like I said earlier, a lot of people see cost of acquisition as barrier to entry, as barrier to, adopting alternative energy sources such as solar. Now, for us as energy, right, we have been able to curb these issues, right, by collaborating, because for us, impact industries such as the educational sector is a passion for us as a company. We've powered a lot of schools and hoping to do more, hoping to collaborate with higher institutions, secondary schools, universities, right? Primary schools. We have powered schools. We are collaborating with more schools to see how we can make, their learning environments conducive and easy, right? Now, what have we done? What have we done to make it easy for our clients to, enjoy this collaboration? We have various flexible financial opportunities, right? We have lease to own, we make it flexible for you to acquire these systems, right? Also, people, like you rightly mentioned earlier, a lot of people do not know that government is interested, right, in the educational sector. So therefore, they have made available a lot of programs for the educational sector to enjoy. And alternative source of energy is one of those programs, right? Also banks. Yeah, I know of some banks that are collaborating with institutions, higher institutions, secondary schools, primary schools, right, to help them get alternative source of energy, right? So getting this firsthand information and looking for various ways of collaborating with the government, with banks, even NGOs, right? There are also international NGOs that are looking to, collaborating with schools to make learning easy. And then energy need is part of their concern. Climate change is part of, they are driving their climate change activities. They are driving, this initiative, right? So yeah, adopting alternative energy sources, right, will help curb the issues that we're facing in our climate today. So there are a lot of grants out there. There are a lot of loans out there, power purchase agreements that schools can,
Yes.
enjoy, yeah, from
Yes.
institutions like this, right?
Yes.
Lastly, I would like to, sorry, you want to say something? Go ahead.
Yes, to add to that, you see, as you were
Okay.
just saying, you see, part of the roadmap in partnerships, as you were talking about that, I remember, you see, it's part
Okay.
of the hindrances like that, and for the fact that we looking at how we bring in more in order to achieve better. So, not so long, our partnership with the global banks and Fidelity banks,
Interesting.
aiming basically we want to deliver value to the
Wow.
stakeholders, especially private schools. So we remember when we were in the process of helping National Association of Private Proprietors of Schools adopt school tribe. So they have some challenges. They say, okay, if you want to do that now, the cost of acquiring big generator, among other stuff. So we talk to them. See, we can talk to some partners on your behalf that will make the
Interesting.
process of doing that possible. So now, having energy, when we get to clients now, we begin to tell them, we go back to those clients, see, you have another juicy opportunity. You worry a lot about funding before. Now you have energy. They have a kind of sequential way of adopting, you adopting alternative energy. So this is going to
Correct.
bring more efficiency and better delivery. And at the end of the day, the stakeholders, everybody is happy. So it's very good. And these are things we are working at to make sure we fill those gaps. Yes, exactly. Yes.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you so very much for that addition. One other thing that I would like to add to breaking the barrier, right? Or the myth, right? That people feel as though or think that acquiring or switching to solar energy is, quite expensive. I talked about energy audits, auditing your environment, your facility, right? Also, being energy efficient is very, very crucial. It's very, very key, right? There are, like I said, you might not need to use the size of inverter that you think you need. If you're energy efficient, if your appliances, right, are energy efficient appliances, like energy saving appliances, imagine somebody using, these old-fashioned or archaic air conditioners, right, where people are switching to inverter ACs. Imagine you have an inverter AC and you need a solar, inverter to power those ACs, right? This would help you to be energy efficient. This will help you save costs. This will help you reduce the size of system you need because they are energy savers, energy saving bulbs, inverter ACs, so before switching to solar, there are things that people need to understand. There are questions that you need to ask, right, before you make that decision. That is why we are here to help you. We are here to help you to, understand your needs. You might not understand what you need. You just know that, oh, I want to switch to solar, but you don't understand the depths to what you need. That is why we are here as not just we don't just sell, install. We are also trusted advisors to people, letting you understand how to come into, this industry, how to acquire solar systems without the hassles, without the headache, right? How to be energy efficient, which is very, 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 very important. So by following these steps, like my moderator just stated, partnership with government, partnership with banks, like I also stated, partnership with NGOs, partnership with energy, we giving you flexible financing options, right? Schools can overcome barriers to accessing solar energy, which will help you reduce your energy costs and help you promote sustainability. Thank you very much. Before we go to the last question, we would take a poll. I don't know if it's on the screen. We have a poll for our participants. I don't know if you can see the pool on the screen. Yeah, I can see the pool here. So we'll take the pool and would call the results of the pool at towards the end. Towards the end of please ensure that you take the pool. We want to hear from you. We want to know your thoughts. We want to know what you think, right? Because the truth is, this topic today is a topic that everyone should be preaching, because educational sector is key to every aspect of life. Really, if our students, if our children, if we ourselves want to, go higher in education, we need to access, these digital tools, because education has gone digitally, right? And without energy, without reliable source of energy, these opportunities will be truncated, right? Our children need to be focused at school. They need to be productive, right? For them to deliver the service. We need to make life easy for them in order to access these digital tools, for their own, learning, for their own upskilling, in order to, provide adequate, and great teaching to our children, to the students. So please, let's hear from you. Take the poll. Let's hear from you. And then we would also open up the platform for question and answer. I just hope we are okay. I think our timing. Okay, we haven't we're supposed to finish this webinar by 1. I think we're doing good with time. So we might likely finish before 1, but we'll take your questions before we round up the webinar. We'll get to hear from you, right? Okay, back to our moderator, Mr. Feishaya. It's been a pleasure engaging you today. It's been a pleasure hearing from you, learning from you, really, because yeah, I'm really, really impressed by what School Try is doing. I'm really impressed by your point of view, by the partnerships that that you are, to making these e-learning platforms, to making life easy for students, especially in Nigeria. You're not only limited to rural communities, you're going to the grassroots, you're going to the urban communities, right? So it's really a pleasure engaging you today, hearing from you what you're doing, and also collaborating with energy providers like Energy, right, to deliver value to schools. Thank you so much once again. So
You're
yeah, we'll
welcome.
just take the last question before we go right into the question and answer from the audience. Right. Are you ready for us? Okay, so the last question for today's webinar, it's a very straightforward question, right? Tell us, discussing practical energy case studies and exploring financial options, which you earlier mentioned, right? How can learning institutions leverage large educational communities and platforms like School Try, to ease their transition to solar energy solutions, right? And how does this enhance classroom and learning outcomes? I know you have mentioned a few points around this question, right? Just, elaborate on it further. Let us know. Let us know. Thank you. Please
Yes.
go ahead.
So as said, for School Try, unlike all other digital edtech solution, we are an all-in-one solution. So unlike other competitors, we don't just focus on a specific part of education. So we offer a fully integrated solution. Tools like you talk about newsletters is taken care of. You want to talk about content delivery process, lesson notes for teachers, lesson plans as well. The one you dish out to students, And this makes it clear for administrators to, let's see. So because of that, this offers, so we offer, the institutions can leverage this opportunity, which School Tribe is leading now, in order to, number one, it provides access to how you manage resources and share them. So the knowledge base is indeed very, very well encompassing. So, and it facilitates collaboration. So if you look at it, it's possible. If you take, for example, you are a school, you are a cluster of schools, you have 5 branches, you have nothing to worry about in the process of doing that. And as you said, auditing is very important. So we provide insights to what the capacity of your school can take. Now, but then later, because you believe your school, the numbers will increase. So because of that, workshops, we often facilitate workshops. So, and also, as I mentioned earlier, our partnership with National Association of Private Providers of Schools as well. So because of the belief they have in us, so when they organize their conferences, they always have conference every year. So they invite us and inform us that we should come along with our fellow partners. So this gives opportunity to people like Fidelity Globus to have access to a kind of community of 50 over from 30 to 50,000 school owners in Nigeria. So with that, we introduce them to, and we strongly believe by the time this kind of conferences will be coming up. The last one came up in Ibadan. So before then, it was in Abuja. We don't know where they will be having their next conferences. So through our partnership, we don't just, we come along with our partners. Fidelity will be there, Energy will be there, Globus Bank will be there, and as the educators and administrators see the value in not just registering and coming on board for e-learning, but how to make provisions for alternative energy. So access of funding will be much easier because as Energy is speaking, Fidelity is speaking, and then Globus is speaking. And this brings it makes School Tribe much more than just a digital platform. It makes them a platform, an ecosystem that connects all necessary values that stakeholders in the educational sector needs. Also to it, our pilot programs. If you look at our pilot programs, the way we do it, so we make sure it's like take one, and then, so I've hardly seen school that we preach, school try to, that at the end of the day didn't use it because, number one, because of the confidence we have in our platform, we let you use it for free for a month. So when that happens, you see the value we are bringing in. And in the process of doing that, it makes them say, oh, you are bringing in energy. How can you help us? Although we might not be able to pay all of this, but how do you facilitate the process of taking care of what we get to pay, just as you pay subscriptions in School Tribe? So with this partnership, we will be able to educate them with how our partners will assist them, not just to install energy to their school, but also take care of the part that pose burdens to them in the process of doing that. So this will showcase to them that we worry a lot about making sure that they have a conducive environment. Talking also about the process of integrating their curriculum, it's one of the areas where they have a lot of challenge because the bureaucracy in the educational sector, especially in the process of adopting what manner of curriculum that should be used in schools. And you are looking at some schools where you have not just Nigerian curriculum, you have British curriculum, you have, take for example, Indian language schools. So in the process of doing this, we are bringing in we are promoting an engagement that bridge the gap and facilitate that fast track the process of bringing in different curriculum. You agree with me? The time you take in order to switch from one curriculum to another, and you are talking about energy audit. If you don't have the necessary process in place to take care of when you need to do that and how you need to your data, in the process of doing that, at the end of the day, the engagement, the applications you use, majority of them, there can be interruptions. So this enhanced learning environment, this make sure that there is consistent power supply with the partnership, and there is awareness, not just a school knows about it. When they use it, they tell to other schools, because that's one of the greatest advantage we've had in this space. When one school uses our platforms with the partnership we bring on board, others tell other schools. So because they are the one that have access, direct access to the pool of their fellow school owners. So this is going to make it access for the process of transitioning into alternative energy, because of the kind of change, the engagement, the collaborations, the community of these stakeholders. So this is going to bring a lot of consciousness and awareness to the ecosystem. I strongly believe. Yes, I believe in. And if there's anything I would like to add, basically, it will just be in the area of data. So the data, the insight that comes to bear when you are looking at the data of school, we provide real-time insight that allows not just educators, not just students, but also administrators in their teaching strategies. So when you bring in partnership like this, so it's going to facilitate a kind of information that is not just going to be useful for the school administrators alone, but even for their various homes. And that's one of the great advantages about it. So you're not just informing the school body, but you are informing homes as well. And that's the great deal about it. Thank you so much. Yes.
That's beautiful. That's quite commendable. Thank you so much for that insight. So yeah, we have the chat box open for question and answers. We have we have 2 questions here. Can you please drop more questions? Also, if you have contributions, if you have anything you want to add to our audience, if you have anything you want to add, contribution, you want to contribute to this conversation today, kindly drop it on the chat box. You have any question, drop it on the chat box. Before we start addressing the questions, I would just like to, just add to, few things that you have said, right? For us as energy, like I said earlier, right? We support impact industries such as the educational sectors, right? Educational sector, right? Energy has designed, very flexible payment plans, to make it easy and affordable. I believe my point here would answer the questions that we have already. There are similar questions, right, on affordability, right? Energy has made it easy, right, and affordable to adopt solar energy, as an alternative source, whether it's a small school, whether it's a big school, whether the school is not well funded, right? We've made it so easy on all our products, right? Ranging from the small capacity solar system, somebody's asking that what capacity of systems do we provide, right? We provide the lists from the highest, from as little as 1.2 kVA, 2.2 kVA, 3 kVA, 5 kVA, 10 kVA, up to 100, 500 kVA, and 1 megawatt, right? We have the capacity. We have done it before. We are still doing it. We have solar systems. We have solutions in country, on ground, right? To meet your energy needs. So yeah, and on these components, we have flexible payment plans, right? I will just address a few of them, right? Currently, we have a package that we just, rolled out, right? Which is a 5 years payment plan on our solar systems, right? And where you get to pay monthly. There's no initial deposits. You go through an energy, an onboarding platform, a credit check, right? And then you start paying monthly. Once you make your payment for the first month, which is, I think, 130K, 130,000 naira, you make your first, payment for the first month. We carry out the installation, right? And you keep paying for the subsequent months for the next 5 years. That is, I don't know what else is more flexible than that, because the truth is, a lot of people pay high cost of tariff, right? I have a client who, when he saw this opportunity, he embraced it immediately without so many questions. Why? Because when I was, having further conversations with him, he told me how he spends up to 500,000 naira on power alone monthly, and someone like that, you're offering him 130K monthly, which can power his major home appliances. I mean, this is a very, very juicy opportunity to make, to make adoption of solar energy affordable to even the least, yeah. Also, we also have, I have people who have concerns, right? Oh, I don't want to do 5 years, or 5 years is too much, it's too far, and all of that. And they want to do just 1 year, 2 years. Yeah, we have payment plan, lease to own. We have such, all you need to do is just, when we do your order, we let you know the size of the inverter you need, the size of the component that can adequately power your appliances, right? We also do a credit check, right? Because this is more or less like a loan, right? And then you get to, pay at least 30%, right? Initial deposit. This is another payment plan. You get to pay 30% initial deposit, and then spread your balance for 1 year, 2 years, as long as 3 years, as the case may be, monthly, right? So yeah, we also have smaller systems. I will just delve into the question. I'll just delve into the questions that we already have from Ndidi Uche. I think I have answered this question. She said, is there any consideration to reduce cost for private schools that cannot afford high cost of solar? Yes, like I rightfully mentioned, we have flexible payment plan, right? Industries like the educational industry is an industry that we as a company, we are passionate about, right? So we give very flexible payment options. We also check what you need, right? And we advise you on what you need, and then we share with you the various payment plans that we have that would be convenient for you. And then anybody can afford our system, given that we have flexible payment plan for every school, even if you think you can't afford it, right? Depending on the size of the system you want to start with, right? Someone also asks, what's the scale of the energy you provide? I mean, in kVA. Yeah, I mentioned this earlier. From the smallest to the largest, right? We have the small solar home systems, which has been doing wonders. Really, we have been getting various testimonials from people who have been using the solar home systems, right? It's likened to the I Pass My Neighbor generator, but this is a solar system. It can be powered by, you can use your solar panel to charge it, or you charge it, it's hybrid, or you can charge with electricity if you want, right? So these are small systems that can power basic appliances like your fan, your television, light points, even refrigerator, right? But of course, not at once, because depending on how long you want it to last, there are small capacity systems, but you're still getting value, right? So yeah, the 1.2 kVA, 2.2 kVA, 3 kVA, up to 500 kVA, 1 megawatts, right? As we speak, we're hoping to close out on a conversation of 1.5 megawatts for a university in Nigeria, right? So we have the capacity from the least to the highest, right? So we have everything we need. We also have another question. Can individuals partner with your company? I would like to know which of the company are you. Please, if you asked this question, can you be specific? Are you talking about energy or school try? Let us know so we can revisit the question. From Clementina Tom, can individuals partner with your company? Are you talking about energy or school try? Let us know so we can revisit the question. Also, another question, please, if you have question for school try, I believe I have proprietors, I have owners of schools, owners of institutions here. Right. School Try is doing a great job. They are making life easy for schools, for institutions. So this is your opportunity to seek for digital learning. So please drop your questions, and all of that. And after the last question, we're going to take the result for the pool.
So the city, I think you said the solar company. So can individuals partner with your
Okay, can individual partner with the solar company? Sure. We have individuals that are in partnership with Energy. If you want to partner with Energy as a distributor, as a reseller, or even as a solar angel, if you want to start up a solar company and you don't have that capacity, right, to import solar systems, you don't have that capacity to build the systems in country, Energy has the capacity to help you start up a business, right? Our solar home systems, we have people who have bought in the numbers, right, to resell in different areas in Nigeria. We also partner with people internationally. Yeah, so we are open to partnering with not just companies, but with individuals, right? If you don't want to, okay, for people who, I don't want to set up a company, I just want to refer, I have people, maybe I'm an installer, or I know people in an estate that need solar energy. I'm in collaboration with a school and they need, solar energy. How can I partner with Energy? All good and well. We work with partners. We work with
Please, Princess is having a bit of network issue. She will be back shortly.
So yes, so I think one of the participants is asking about what are the payment plans for the school trial? Is it per month, per school term, per student, etc.?
I think you can take that.
Yes. So basically, how we do it, we offer both termly subscription and yearly subscription. So subscribing to School Tribe monthly, it's possible as well. But basically, the termly subscription works so well because you pay 500 naira per student or per pupils per term. And if you look at the yearly payment, that one is very quite affordable because you pay 1,000 naira per student or per pupils per academic year. And that's how we do it. So if you need to go through the process of deployment, as I've said, you can walk straight to schooltry.com/register. You'll be able to have access to use it free for a month. And then any other rest, we have our numbers on our platforms. You'll be able to communicate with us, and we assign immediately a support to take you through the onboarding process. Thank you so much. Yes. So
thank you. Yes. Thank you very much, Faisha. Sorry, I had a little glitch with my internet. Okay, we'll share the results of the poll soon, but let's just take one last question. So this question is from our YouTube chat. We also have people on YouTube who are connected, right? From Owunariasa. So what is Energy doing with market competitiveness, knowing that the solar market, the solar market is highly competitive? This question is quite dicey. Do I need to share this with you? Well, we know that the market is quite competitive, right? Everyone is going into the industry because of the value in renewable energy, right? And more people are allowed to come in, right? Because every solar provider is providing value in one way or the other, and a lot of us are unique in the value proposition we are bringing to the table, right? So as energy is unique, and we are not worried about competitiveness at all, because like I said, we are unique in our own ways. We are our business model, we are unique in our business model, in our financing opportunities, in our passion for the industry, and serving the needs of our customers, right? So I believe this value proposition stands us out as an organization, right? So I believe I've been able to answer your question, right?
Yes.
The sky is open
Additional.
for every player to come on board, because I mean, we need to reach more people as an industry. So yeah, more people are allowed to come on board. Come in with your unique offerings, and let's strive together, right? Feisha, you have
Yes,
something to say?
adding to that, you see, one of the value proposition that sets energy out is, as you can see, energy is not just coming in. Okay, we are experts in alternative energy. You can see the chain of the partnership. They are coming in with experts. So you are not just having that, you are having Scootry coming in, and alongside with it, you are having partnership with Globus Bank, Fidelity Bank. So you could see the value they are proposing. So unlike with other solar providers. So I think with this, you begin to see uniqueness in reliability in the value they are willing to offer to the market. Yes, thank you.
Thank you very much for that addition. Okay, without wasting much of your time, we need to round off with a webinar because of time. So this is the last aspect of this webinar today. We're going to take the poll results. I'll just take it, I'll read it out for us. I believe you can also see the poll on the screen. Okay, and the first is based on your institution's administrative and academic operations. What are your most pressing energy challenges? Okay, unreliable grid electricity. We have 80% responses, 80%. Rising fuel generator running costs, 90%. In short, number one and number two goes hand in hand, right? High energy demand for your facility, 30%. Limited alternative power sources, 10%. Pollution, noise from generators, 20%. Okay, so this goes to tell us that unreliable grid electricity supply, rising fuel generator running costs is really impacting, on institutions, administrative and academic operations, which boils down to the fact that every institution needs an alternative source of energy. Now, the second question to our audience, considering Nigeria's energy volatility, by how much has your energy spending increased over the past 5 years? Okay, 0 to 50, 0%, 50 to 100, 40%, 100 to 200%, 40% of people have spent this, 200 to 500%, 20%. Above 500, 0%. I mean, above 500, that's ridiculous, because how many people can afford this? You get, so 40%, 40% goes to 50 to 100, 100 to 200. How much has your energy spending increased over the past 5 years? Wow. Alternative source of energy, solar energy is the way to go, is the answer to this pressing needs. Number 3, what are the major barriers preventing institutions in your sector from adopting sustainable solar systems? Number 1 is rising capital costs for high acquisition, which we addressed 100%. This is a concern to everybody, and I believe we addressed this, and I believe you've gotten value I believe you have all your doubts cleared. Integration with existing power infrastructure, 10%. Identifying credible providers and products, 30%. Energy is here. We're a credible provider. We have great products. Lack of long-term suitable payment options, 30%. We have that as our value proposition. Long-term payments for 5 years, sometimes even 10 years, depending on the capacity, depending on how large the project is, right? And yeah, 30% of people have this issue. Limited consumer education and information, 40%. Okay, let me just rush through because we don't have more time again. What do you consider the most critical factor when selecting a new power solution for your institution? Providers, reputation, and product quality, 50%. Okay, positive reviews from similar institutions, 40%. Feedback is very essential. Affordable pricing and financing options, 100%. Warranty and routine maintenance support, 30%. Alignment with your facilities aesthetics, 10%. Okay, the last, I believe there's a last on the poll, okay? Number 5, to what extent has your institution considered adopting solar energy solutions, fully or partially? No consideration given to solar solutions so far, 10%. So this is the least, meaning everyone is thinking solar, right? 90% of people, of institutions out there are thinking to go solar. So this is the right time, right? Secondly, made general inquiries about solar system performance, 40%, audited energy consumption and explored options, 40%, assessed possible integrations with power infrastructure, 30%, reviewed available solar funding and payment methods, 60%. Okay, I believe we've gotten your feedbacks. I believe we've been able to answer all your questions. I believe moderator did justice to the topic and the questions for today. Thank you so much for everyone who made it possible. Thank you so much for the people who came online to get value from our topic today. We are grateful for your time, and we are here to serve you. Energy is here to serve you. School Try is here to serve you. You can reach out to us via our website. You can send me a message on LinkedIn, send me a message via my email, princess.akachukwu@energy.com. You can send me an email if you need to ask more questions. You need solution to, your power issues in your schools, also in your residence, right? Let us know if you want to get in touch with School Try. Send us an email. We would, so you can see the School Try website here on the chat box. They are bringing great value to you, right? Yeah, so reach out to School Try, reach out to me. Let's get on this journey of providing sustainable, reliable, and affordable energy solution to your institutions. Thank you very much once again. Enjoy the rest of your day and have a beautiful afternoon. Thank you so much, Feisha, for making it here today. Thank you so much for adding so much value to our conversation today. We are grateful. You made it possible. We are grateful.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, everyone. Enjoy the rest of your day. Bye for now.
Bye.
Bye.